Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well as well as teach well. And also peace and salutation to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the title of this video is going to be Many Have and Will Sin for a Small Matter. Alright? Many of our people have in the past, alright, and will in this present day, sin for a small matter. Alright? And when you look at, our people, all throughout the scriptures, throughout our different captivities, and even when you go back to the time of when we were in the wilderness coming out of ancient Egypt, many of our forefathers back in ancient times, sinned against the Lord for small matters. Okay? In case in point, when you look at certain accounts of our forefathers in the scriptures in the wilderness, as we were in the wilderness on our way to the promised land after we came out of Egypt, many of our forefathers went off in the wilderness and were ultimately destroyed by Yahweh, by Shema Shai, because of constantly complaining, bucking up against the leadership, bucking up against Moses and Aaron. Many of our people back during that time, coming out of Egypt, sinned and went off for small matters, all because their bellies weren't fed, or all because they didn't have water, and were about to dehydrate. Okay, and this, that, and the third, and even so much to the point to where, when you read, in the Torah, you have certain of our forefathers that wanted to go back to Egypt. Okay, wanted to go back to being slaves in Egypt because of all the abundance that they had in Egypt. The garlic and the access to food and water and comforts and all these different things. And those are just examples of many of our people in the past going off against the Lord, all for simple small matters, such as their flesh, their bellies. Okay, and likewise the same for various other situations in the scriptures amongst our forefathers. Okay, and guess what? And it's not going to be any different in today's time. Because prime example, in today's time, look at how many of our people, sinned and forsook the Lord when that jab came out. Okay, even those of our people that are Christians, up in these churches every Sunday, all right, talking about how much they love Jesus and praise Jesus and all this other stuff. As soon as Esau came down with that jab, and threatened our people that that they wouldn't be able to go back to work, or they wouldn't be able to have access to certain places or restaurants and grocery stores or whatnot, unless they have proof that they took the jab. Look at how many of our people fell for it. Okay, a lot of our people forsook the Lord, and really, when you think about it, like at the time, going back to 2021 into 2022 ish, when Esau was pushing that jab, things weren't all that bad during that time, because it's not like, because it wasn't like, Esau just pushed forth a unrighteous decree throughout the whole United States, where nobody wouldn't be able to work or go to the grocery store or have access to certain places unless you took the jab. Okay, even though Esau was pretty much going that direction, all right, he was going in a direction of pushing forth that unrighteous decree to where people wouldn't have access to this, that, and the third unless they took that jab. All right, but ultimately it was struck down by the Supreme Court. It was ruled unconstitutional. Okay, but nonetheless, things weren't even that bad at that time when Esau was pushing the jab heavy. And look at how many of our people still went out and got it any damn way. They sinning for a small matter. So guess what? So when things really hit the fan, okay, and hyperinflation, kicks in, and we're gonna have food shortages and water shortages, and our people won't have access to certain things that they're used to having in abundance now. Okay, and when those blackouts hit, when those cyber attacks hit, okay, when pretty much everything written in the scriptures hit, all the plagues, pestilence, disease, famine, sword, destruction, blackouts, all these different things. When these things finally hit, just imagine how much more of our people are gonna sin against Yahweh Shemel Shai for a small matter. Okay, i.e. that charagma, you know, because that charagma, is a small matter. That micro C hip, micro, small, and then of course the C hip. All right, that thing that Esau wants to implant in your right hand or in your forehead, okay, under the skin, as the WEF recently came out and said, which many brothers, and the apostles have done videos, all right, in response to that statement made by the WEF, okay, under the skin, all right. Many of our people are gonna sin for that small matter, that charagma, all right. But this is Sirach chapter 27 and verse 1. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. Okay, yeah. So many of our people have sinned in the past for a small matter. All right, all throughout the different captivities that we went through. Okay, and even to this present day, with the jab. All right, as well as other things. And many of our people will sin again. Okay, for the charagma, which is another small matter. All right, and it says, "He that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away." Yeah, because when abundance is no longer gonna, when our people are no longer gonna have access to abundance, okay, an abundance of food, an abundance of bread, meat, water, okay, medicine, and all these different comforts that our people have right now, okay, when our people are going to be seeking for those abundances back, all right, via the charagma, they're going to turn their eyes away, all right, turn their eyes away from Yahweh Shemel Shai and His Word. Okay, they're gonna they're gonna follow after the ways of the beast and bow down to the image of the beast. All right, which is ruled by the biblical Edomites. Our people are gonna follow the serpent. All right, once again, but this time they're gonna follow the serpent to their utter destruction. All right, which is by fire. All right, so Sirach 27 and 1 again. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. All right, so just as a nail sticks fast between the between two stones joined together, all right, likewise the sin stick close between buying and selling. Okay, and of course we can easily link this to Revelation 13 and 16. All right, Revelation 13, and let's start at 15. It says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast." All right, the image of the beast. Okay, being how this modern day Americanized, as well as NATO and the EU, this whole entire system models itself after the ancient Roman Empire. Okay, because America will be the modern day Rome, the new Rome, and these different European countries, the different European allies of America, the NATO, all right, are the modern day vassal states of America, the modern day Rome. Okay, and as well, going into the court system and the Senate. All right, the education system. All right, these different stadiums and arenas. All right, which are nothing but modern day coliseums. Okay, the use of Latin in modern day America, and how in these schools and whatnot they make you learn Roman numerals. All right, a lot of the laws in this country go back to ancient Latin terms. Okay, all these things are what make up the image of the beast. Okay, the beast being the ancient Roman system, and then the image being how America, NATO, and the EU models itself after that ancient Roman system. Okay, so Revelation 13, verse 15 again, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. Okay, he's speaking through his Senate, his Congress, his Constitution. All right, all these different ways that America models itself after ancient Rome. It says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, and that ultimately goes into the NWO system. Okay, because Esau, especially these elites of Esau, are trying to fully implement that ancient Roman system via the NWO. Okay, the image of the beast system that is speaking of right here. And as it just said, the latter part of this verse, and that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So Esau is getting ready to come down with great wrath, as it says in Revelation 12, to the point to where he's going to force all throughout the earth, all right, rich and poor, small and great, to bow the knee and conform to this NWO agenda, all right, and those who would not, okay, he's going to have them killed. And as the different various elder brothers and the apostles always go into, when you go into this word killed, all right, because of course we know it's talking about a physical carnal death, as it goes into in Revelation the 20th chapter. You're gonna have some of the elect that are gonna have to be martyrs and be put to death and be beheaded for the testimony of Yahushua, in the gospel. Okay, this word killed.
Strong's G 2443, Hina. Hina.
Oh, Salakia, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Killed. Yeah, this one right here. Yeah.
Strong's G 615, Apoctino. Apoctino.
All right. And it basically goes into, kill, destroy, perish, to inflict mortal death. All right. So it's talking about being physically killed, right? But this word killed, as we go into the root word right here, it also goes into, I'm going to let this play.
Strong's G 575, Apa.
All right. And it means of separation. Okay. Of local separation after verbs of motion from a place, i.e. of departing, of fleeing. Okay, of separation of apart from the whole. Says right here in the definition 1c, of any kind of separation of one thing from another by which the union or fellowship of the two is destroyed. All right. So basically separation, that word killed goes into. So those who are not going to bow the knee to the image of this beast system, which we know the elect are chosen not to bow the knee. As it goes into Romans the 11th chapter, the apostle Paul quoted what the Lord told Elijah. All right, that the Lord told Elijah that he reserved to himself 7,000 men, which are the 144,000. All right, that would now not bow the knee to the image of Baal. Okay, so we know the 144 as well as the rest of the elect are not going to bow the knee to the image of this beast system, and those who else would not bow the image would not bow the knee to the image of this beast system would not only be faced with carnal physical death, but also separation, as it goes into right here. Okay, being separated from the system. All right, being forced to go off the grid. All right, because even I believe one of these top Edomites, elite Edomites or whatever, okay, basically made a statement, roughly paraphrased and going into how um in order to participate in the NWO, you're gonna have to make an oath. Okay, you're gonna have to make an oath to this system. All right, and if you refuse to make the oath to the system, then you're either gonna be physically killed, or you simply won't be able to participate in the system, and therefore it's gonna lead to what? You being separated from the system. You know, and we that are the hopeful elect, you know, we can't wait till that day comes where where we're gonna have to be separated from the system. Okay, where we're gonna have to detach, all right, detach from our our jobs and whatever else we have going on in this world. Okay, and fully trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. Like the scripture says, the just shall live by faith. But here it is, 2/3 of our people, just as it was back in ancient Egypt. 2/3 of our people don't want to separate from this modern day Egypt. Okay, which is why many of our people are gonna bow the knee. They're gonna sin for a small matter. All right, all just to go back to having the things that they comfort in right now. Okay, to have it in abundance. But you see, the thing is with this NWO system is all the things that you're used to having in abundance right now, you're not gonna have all of that when the NWO system rolls out, because all the things that you have right now, you're only gonna receive it in measure. Okay, it's only gonna be rationed unto you. All right. But nonetheless, all right. So Revelation 13 and 15 again, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, killed physically or simply being separated. Okay, not being able to participate in the NWO. And it says, all right, and how is Esau gonna make the people worship the image of this beast system, the NWO? Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right. So, in order to participate in this upcoming NWO, all right, Esau is going to make you receive a charagma, all right, an MARK, in your right hand or in your forehead, or either of your hands for that matter. Okay, and that you're not going to be able to buy or sell or participate in this NWO system unless you have that charagma. Okay, and so when we go back to Sirach 27 and 2, as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close to buying and selling. So sin, all right, committing a particular sin is going to be tied to buying and selling, okay, very, very soon in the near future. All right, and that sin is going to be receiving the charagma, okay, which is a physical charagma. All right, it's not talking about a spiritual charagma or a philosophy that Esau is gonna make you have to take on in order for you to buy and sell. No, this charagma, this mark, is gonna be physical. All right, something that's gonna be physically put in your right hand or your forehead. All right, under the skin, like the WEF recently came out and said. All right, and and just for edification's sake, this word charagma, as the apostles and various elder brothers always bring out. All right, strong. This word from Mark, Strong's G 5480, charagma. All right, a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, imprinted. Now, to imprint something means to penetrate into something. Like when you get a tattoo, okay, which a tattoo is basically a print in your flesh, right? Or in order for that tattoo needle to to make the tattoo on your flesh, it has to do what? It has to penetrate into your flesh. It has to cut through your flesh to a certain degree. All right, not cut all the way into your flesh per se, all the way down to your veins and to your bones and all that. But it cuts into your flesh to a certain degree. Well, that's what Esau's gonna do with that charagma, which is the CHIP. Okay, he's gonna try to implement or penetrate that charagma, the CHIP, into your flesh, into your right hand or in your forehead. It says right here of the charagma stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah, which the anti-Messiah is a system in place. All right, it's a government system. Not all right. It's not talking about one single man or creature that's going to rise up in the earth in the latter days, calling himself the anti-Messiah. All right, with a red suit on, with horns sticking out his head, and a tail, coming out of his ass, and all that. The way that Esau portrays the anti-Messiah in his movies. No, the anti-Messiah is a system in place. Okay, the beast system basically. All right, which is the system that's currently ruling the world right now. America, NATO, and the EU. This is the anti-Messiah that it speaks of in the scriptures. All right. Even the Apostle John in 1 John 2:18 says that there are many anti-messiahs in the world. Okay, so the anti-messiah is not some one individual or one creature that's gonna pop up in the earth in a lot of days before Yahushua comes back. No, the anti-messiah is ultimately a system. So by you taking that charagma, it's basically gonna mark you, stamp you as a follower of this anti-Messiah beast system. Okay, that's how Esau gonna know whether or not you bowed the knee and worship this system. All right, if you took that charagma, which again is the CHIP. It says a charagma branded upon horses. Okay, because that charagma is going to be a stamp of ownership by Esau Edom and his beast system. Okay, he's gonna make that his brand that he's gonna try to put upon you, or to say that he owns you. Okay, and he's gonna use that charagma to make you into his image. Just as we as the hopeful elect are being made in the image of Yahweh Shemel Shai by being marked with this truth. Okay, via the Holy Spirit. Well, Esau's gonna try to mark you or put the charagma in you with this CHIP. All right, and then it says right here of idolatrous images. So that charagma is not only is it a stamp to make you a follower of this beast system, but it is also an idol. Okay, so by you bowing the knee to the image of the system and taking a charagma, okay, you're committing idol worship, and we know in the Ten Commandments, all right, idol worship is forbidden. Okay, all right, idol worship. Matter of fact, let's just get it. Exodus 20. All right, the Ten Commandments that you can see. Exodus 20 and 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I the Lord am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Okay, so here in the Ten Commandments, the very first commandment that the Lord gives us, thou shalt not have no other gods before him. All right, and the second commandment, okay, basically don't make any graven images and bow down and worship them. Basically, don't worship idols. Okay, so worshiping idols is the second commandment that the Lord forbids us in the scriptures. Okay, because doing so would put another God before Yahweh Shema Shai. So the 2/3 of our people that's going to sin, all right, and take the charagma, all right, for a small matter, so that they can have an abundance of food and water and this, that, and the third. They're basically going to be breaking the very first two commandments. Okay, putting another God, Esau Edom, in his beast system before Yahweh Shema Shai, and bowing down to the image of his system and taking a charagma, which is likened unto idol worship. All right. So Sirach 27:2 again, as a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close to between buying and selling. Verse 3, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of the Lord, his house shall soon be overthrown. And we that are the hopeful elect, we're holding ourselves diligently in the fear of the Lord. Okay, because we know when those times comes, according to prophecy, all right, as long as we you know, uh, continue in the faith of Yahweh Shema Shai and fear of the Lord rather than fear of man, okay, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to be with us, all right, to preserve us from these said perils, okay. But 2/3 of our people are not going to diligently fear the Lord, so that's why they're going to be overthrown, okay. They're going to be destroyed with fire and brimstone in the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels, as it goes into in Revelation the 14th chapter. All right. Now, let's get this. This is Deuteronomy 32 and verse 18. All right. Going into how our people, forsook the Lord throughout various times in the ancient world. Okay. And this can also apply today as well, as our people continue to forsake the Lord. Despite the prophets and the men of the Lord going out on the highways and the byways preaching the gospel unto them week in and week out. All right. It's Deuteronomy 32 and 18. Of the rock that beget thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. Yeah, our people are 2/3 of our people are unmindful towards Yahweh Shema Shai, and they forgot Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. When we go out on the highways and the byways preaching to them, they walk past us, making funny faces as they walk by us. They pull out their phones and start recording us, to try to make, to try to put us on social media and make fun of us, try to make memes out of us and stuff like that, or, they drive past us in their vehicles, okay, breaking their necks, looking at us, like we got three heads on our shoulders. Okay, our people are very unmindful of Yahweh Shema Shai and his judgments and his prophets. All right, let's look up this word unmindful. All right, Strong's H7876, Shayah, Shayah says to forget, deprive. All right, deprive, which the word deprive means prevent a person or a place from having or using something. All right, dispossess, strip, divest, deny. All right, yeah. Basically, our people divest from the Lord. All right, our 2/3 of our people divest from Yahweh Shema Shai to invest in Esau Edom in his system. Okay, and it's gonna be to their ruin. All right, they deny Yahweh Shema Shai, the rock that beget them. All right, Deuteronomy 32 and 18 again. Of the rock that beget thee, thou art unmindful, and hast forgotten Yahweh that formed thee. And when Yahweh saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughters. Okay, yeah. So not only our people, our 2/3 of our people, denying the Lord and being unmindful of the Lord, but they're also raising up their sons and daughters to be in that same mindset as well. Because 2/3 of Jake aren't raising their children to fear the Most High or to believe in the Bible, and things like that. Our people are just raising their children up to play football and basketball and you know raising up their daughters to be independent modern women, you know, not being family oriented, not raising up their daughters to be wives and mothers and all these things. Okay, 2/3 of our people are raising up their sons and daughters, to be a bunch of anti-messiahs. Okay, to go against the order that Yahweh Shai gave us. All right, and it says, verse 20, and he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith. Yep. And 2/3 of our people, have no faith in the Lord. Okay, including the ones of our people that call themselves Israelites in these different camps. All right, calling on Yah and these other names that they call the Most High and the Son. Okay, following leaders and in camps that teach all these false doctrines. Okay, going off on prophecy, going off in the scriptures. Okay, 2/3 of our people have no faith. All right, and that's why they're not gonna live when the time of Jacob's trouble come to pass, because as the scripture says again, the just shall live by faith. You know, so because 2/3 of our people have no faith. All right, and this is coming out of Yahweh Shemel Shai's mouth right here. Okay, when you're reading this chapter, this is Yahweh Shemel Shai speaking right here. All right, that 2/3 of our people are children in whom is no faith. And so because 2/3 of our people have no faith, they're going to sin for a small matter. Okay? They're going to sin all to please their flesh. All right? When their stomach is touching their backs, when they're going to be thirsty, okay, when their children are going to be crying, because their children are going to be hungry and thirsty and all these different things. Okay, 2/3 of our people are going to fold, and they're going to bow the knee, okay, and take their charagma. All right. But guess what? We that are the hopeful elect, all right, we're going to trust in the Lord. All right. Now, this is Job chapter 5, verse 20. In famine he shall redeem thee from death. All right. Now, this is applying to the elect. This is not applying to all of our people in these latter days. All right. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the field. Okay, because the elect are going to be in good case when when Jacob's trouble come to pass. All right, and all hell is breaking loose throughout this society. All right, like it says in Isaiah, the Lord said, his servants shall eat. But basically, the rest of our people are going to be in bad case. Okay, because they're going to forsake the Lord. They're going to bow the knees to the image of the beast system, and follow after the serpent all over again. Okay, so verse 22 again, Job 5, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Let's look up this word laugh. All right, Strong's H 7832, shachak. All right, says to laugh, play, mock, to laugh usually in contempt or derision. All right, because what does it say in let's get that real quick. In Second Ezra's 16th chapter. All right, they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. Let's get that. Let's make this bigger. Second Ezra 16, and I'll start at 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. All right, Esau, Edom coming down with great wrath. 2/3 of our people coming after us as well. Okay. Because because we speak out against this beast system, are you even gonna have 2/3 of our people persecuting us? You know, when the times get rough, okay? And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. Okay, yeah, they're gonna be tempting us with taking a charagma, all right, or else put threatening to put us to death. All right, it says verse 69, and they that consent unto them, all right, those that are going to consent unto Esau, Edom, and his beast system are 2/3 of our people, right? And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So you see that? So the 2/3 of our people that's going to bow the knee and sin for a small matter and take the charagma, all right, they're going to be had in derision and reproach, okay, by the prophets. The men of the Lord are going to be mocking them and laughing at them and having it in derision, okay, because you know those of our people that's going to worship this beast system and take the charagma, as I just said, they're going to be trodden underfoot, okay. The scriptures speaks about in Revelation 16 are those of our people that's going to worship the image of this beast system and receive the charagma. They're going to receive a grievous sore. They're going to be receive all types of sicknesses and diseases, okay, cancers, all right, and then ultimately they're just going to be destroyed by the Lord by fire and brimstone, which is those thermonuclear missiles, all right, as well as the fire from the chariots of Yahweh Shai and the holy angels, okay. So 2/3 are going to be had in derision by the prophets and the men of the Lord, all right, and be had in a reproach, okay, because what is all said and done, the elect of Yahweh Shai that's not going to bow the knee are going to have the last laugh against 2/3 of our people that are going to bow the knee. All right, and ultimately it's Yahweh Shai that's going to have the last laugh when it's all said and done. Okay, so when we go back to this word laugh in Job 5, again Strong's H7832, shachak, shachak, to laugh, play, mock, to laugh, usually in contempt or derision. All right, to sport, play, to make sport, to jest. All right, to laugh mockingly. All right, the Lord said in Proverbs, the first chapter, through Solomon, He said, He shall mock our people when their calamity come. All right, 2/3. All right, and the Lord's gonna mock 2/3 of our people through His men. you know, we're gonna have the 2/3 in derision and reproach. We're gonna be laughing at them, for consenting to this system. All right, for following after the ways of the serpent. Okay, so Job 5:22 again, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. Yeah, because ultimately the elect, the Yahweh Shema Shai is going to make sure the elect are in good case when Jacob's trumpet come to pass. Okay, we strive for the Lord. We strive for Yahweh Shema Shai and His word and His testimony and His gospel. Okay, so guess what? Yahweh Shema Shai is going to fight for us in return. Okay, and ultimately make sure that we endure to the end so that we can receive our crowns. All right, and Lord willing, I pray that I'm of that number as well. All right, verse 24, and thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace, and thou shalt visit thy habitation and shall not sin. So you see that? So 2/3 of our people are going to sin for a small matter, but the elect shall not sin. Okay, because we're going to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, the just shall live by faith, and even in the book of Sirach, the second chapter, all right, we shall not make haste. So Sirach 2 verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Oh yeah, because there's a lot of things that we go through as men of the Lord through our walk. We face temptations from our family members, certain people that we knew in the world. Okay, face temptation from our jobs. All right. And ultimately, we know that the ultimate temptation that we're going to have to face is the charagma. Okay, but the Lord already has it written that that His elect, starting with the 144,000, are not going to receive the charagma or bow the knee to the image of this beast system. Okay, we're going to overcome temptation. Lord will not be of that number. It says, verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time and trouble. So you see that? So the elect are not gonna make haste in time and trouble. We're not gonna sin for a small matter. Okay, as we just read in Job 5, we're not gonna sin at all. Period. Lord will not be of that number, because through this grace period, we that are the hopeful elect, we're gonna be offering of the right sacrifice. Okay, offering of the right sweet savor in in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right, and the Lord's gonna preserve us when He said perils come. Okay, verse 3. Verse 3, cleave unto Him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Yep. So though right now it's looking like the odds are against us right now as the hopeful elect, but guess what? The Lord's going to increase us in the last end. Okay, He's going to increase our value. He's going to increase our faith. He's going to increase our stock, so to speak. All right. And so these same 2/3 of our people that walk past us or drive past us when we're out in the highways preaching the gospel, okay, these same 2/3 that just walk past us and treat us like nothing, okay, and just ignore us. Well, guess what? They're going to be looking for us. Well, when all hell breaks loose, okay. But guess what? They're not going to find us, because hey, the famine of the word is going to hit. All right. And the Lord's going to be hiding us and protecting us when that time comes. Okay, and increasing us. All right. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And also peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.